Since I did a ranking of the comic book movies of 2021, that ranking has drastically changed by the way, I figured I might as well do one for 2022. It will probably be the only other one. As for why I did videos explaining why I was mostly done with both the MCU and DCEU, and when the Kraven the Hunter trailer drops, I plan to do a video on why I'll be done with the Sonyverse as well. Now, as you've guessed by the title, this list will be ranking comic book movies of 2022, from theatrical releases to straight-to-video films. Also, I will be including films based on manga, because manga are essentially the Japanese equivalent to Western comics. And of course, this list is entirely based around my opinion. With that being said, let's do this. Number 16, Morbius. This movie has already been torn apart by everyone, and I'm not really in the mood to trash it, so I will let Gore sum up my feelings towards the film for me.
Hey, Morb!
Huh?
Try to release this movie for the second time now, you fucking stupid bastard!
Number 15, Thor Love and Thunder. This film left me disappointed. While it was nice to see Jane Foster back, it couldn't save this film. The film was comedy overload, and it was infuriating to see Thor reduced back to a destruction-happy idiot. Also, Gore deserved more screen time. Number 14, Black Adam. While the titular character played by The Rock was cool, and there were some fun action scenes, this film didn't really have anything special to stand out. It just felt like every other superhero movie, but it was by no means terrible. Number 13, Green Lantern Beware My Power. Well, I liked how the film went into Jon Stewart's PTSD and pushed the limit of PG-13, it was too dark for my tastes. Not helping was that the film moved at an unengaging pace. That being said, it was definitely better than the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. Number 12, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This was a film that I really wanted to like, but only found it average. While the tribute it had to Chadwick Boseman was nice, and the performances were strong, the film was longer than it really needed to be. Plus, some of the writing was off. Like seriously, this film gets kickstarted by a student working on her project getting caught up in Wakanda's affairs. Number 11, Constantine, The House of Mystery. First, the title for this movie is misleading. It's really an anthology series of different stories based on DC Comics. Despite the bait and switch, the film is alright. Each story stands out and is entertaining. Number 10, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. Now, I'm not familiar with the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, because it was around the time the show came out, I was burned out from TMNT, as it came around after the 2012 series wrapped up. But I checked this movie out, and it was alright. The animation was outstanding, and I liked that this film was not afraid to get dark and disturbing. Number 9, DC League of Super Pets. I was pleasantly caught off guard by this film. I didn't have the highest expectations due to the cringeworthy marketing, but I thought it was alright. The movie was cute, heartwarming, and a lot of jokes landed. Especially that jab at the Justice League.
You really should have made it harder to find you. Those glasses aren't fooling anyone. Mustache maybe, but not glasses.
Number 8, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'll admit, this film has some rushed pacing and clunky writing. It also could have looked better. It was also kind of a bummer the multiverse wasn't explored that much, but for the most part, I liked it. I was glad that Sam Raimi got to put some of his personal touches into the movie. Number 7, Catwoman Hunted. I had a blast with this film. It had the flair of an anime, which makes sense because the director is Japanese, was action-packed, and Elizabeth Giles and Stephanie Beatrice had great chemistry as Catwoman and Batwoman respectively. I'd be down for them being in another movie together. Number 6, Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons. This film followed Jonathan Kent and Damon Wayne having to save the world from Starro. Yeah, it's weird seeing Starro again as a big bad. Anyway, I had a good time with this film. I like John and Damon's dynamic, plus Lois Lane got to be badass here. Number 5, Werewolf by Night. This is what I want more of from the MCU, something that stands out and lets the director get creative. This film felt like a love letter to old school horror fans, and I liked how this movie was not afraid to get violent. Also, more films directed by Michael Giacchino, please. Number 4, One Piece film Red. I'm not familiar with the One Piece series at all, but since I saw many other films based on series I'm not too familiar with, I decided, what the heck? I had a good time. The soundtrack was rockin', and boy was this film emotional. I'd plan on checking out more One Piece after this, even if I have a long way to go. Number 3. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. While I am mostly done with the MCU, I plan to check out the last Guardians movies for sure, and this was one of them. This film was funny and heartwarming. It reminded me of why I like the Guardians movies. And I'm looking forward to Guardians 3. Number 2. Dragon Ball Superhero. Like One Piece, I am not the most familiar with the Dragon Ball series, but I decided to check it out, and I had a good time. The animation was awesome, and the action scenes were just incredible. Definitely plan to check out more Dragon Ball for sure. Number 1. The Batman. Was it any surprise this would be number 1? I already talked about it in my best movies of 2022 list, so I'll be brief. The film was a breath of fresh air, feeling more like a noir mystery movie instead of a superhero movie, and its take on the Dark Knight was awesome. Future comic book movies should take notes from this film. So that's my ranking. What's yours? Feel free to share it in the comments. Next time, I will be ranking the animated movies I saw in 2022. Should be fun, as I saw 37 different animated movies. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, share, and subscribe.